Or to speak more on INEC's preparedness for the 2023 election, Omori Aigbe, Policy and Management Specialist at Center for Democracy and Development, West Africa, joins me now. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, the INEC chairman has just disclosed that no election will be held in 240 polling units across the country. Now, how important is this development in the grand scheme of things?
Thank you for having me. I think this is as a result of planning. This is as a result of good planning. In fact, this is foresight, and this is part of what we've continued to commend INEC for giving information ahead of time. 240 is small, but it's significant. It matters because of the consequence. If there are going to be voters in those polling units, they needed to know that there won't be polling in those polling units, and it's very credible that we are knowing now, even though it's just about 10, 11 days to elections, and it's good we know. It's really commendable.
Has prepared for a credible election, especially if you consider the rising spate of insecurity and targeted attacks on the umpires facility.
So, can you repeat the question? I didn't get the first line.
Now, I was asking you, how well do you think INEC has prepared itself, especially when you consider the repeated attacks on the umpires' facility?
Okay, thank you. So the thing about the attacks on those facilities, these are not the major sensitive material of INEC have truly not been imparted. What have been imparted are basically the offices and the non-sensitive materials, including the ballot boxes, which can be replaced, and of course the cubicle, which can also be replaced, or the furniture in those offices. But INEC facility, as it were, talking about beavers, and although there have been attacks also on PVC, which INEC have made attempt to replace in Ogun and Osun and elsewhere. But basically, the main sensitive materials, which has to do with the ballot papers, the beaver, the bimodal voter accreditation device, has not been impacted at all. So we are clearly seeing an election holding on the 25th of February. Again, security issues are not within the purview of INEC to control. We just heard now that the president has commissioned some assets for Nigerian police force because of the election. So we anticipate that the police will be well coordinated to nip in the bud various security challenges. But again, even though we have commended INEC for letting us know that 240 polling units, there won't be a poll, but there are other very high at-risk locations. High-risk location that we are still thinking that there may not be polling. But if INEC had come now just 10 days before the election, that they are now certain that polling will not hold in 240, that's reassuring, really reassuring, that polling will now hold in 176,606 polling units across the Federation. That is incredible. And I think it's an act of preparedness. It's an act of election risk management. It's an act of foresightedness, which I think I need to give to INEC at this time.
Just before I let you go, I want you to share your insight on this controversy about INEC leaving the transportation and logistics of sensitive materials to the NURTW, which many find quite controversial. Do you agree?
It's been controversial from time immemorial because there is no national asset that can transport those materials. INEC has always relied on the transport union to continue to do that. But part of what we continue to say is that when citizens know the electoral process, when citizens know what it means to defend their mandate, they can actually do that even though you are suspecting the person who transport those materials. If those materials don't get to polling unit, the people who want to subvert the process will also not get the vote. So my thought is that having to know that the materials will be with this agency, it is for citizens to put that agency on high-level check. And if possible, even though I do agree to some sentiment, particularly coming from Lagos, that a certain individual ought not to be chosen, or that park ought not to be given the responsibility to transport material. Don't forget, it's a union. One person doesn't own all of the vehicles in that park. It's owned by individual who play role in those parks. But I think that even when you know that this person, I mean, my father told us many stories years ago that it is better to give money to the thief to keep. That anytime you want the money, the thief will bring it. But if you keep it somewhere else, the thief can easily go there and take it. I think that if we suspect these individuals that they may subvert the process, it is good for us to know that they are the ones and they will put it in their hand, let them take those material there. Rather than if you don't put it in their hand, they end up going to block or eventually intercept those materials and then block it. It will be more of a challenge for us.
Question really is that still the best option? But that is definitely a conversation I'd like to take further next time. Omori Aigbe, Policy and Management Specialist at Center for Democracy and Development, West Africa. Thank you very much for your time and your contribution.